Welcome to English Vibes.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something really personal for a lot of people. It's that feeling of accent shame.
Hmm?
You know the feeling, right? You're in a meeting, maybe just chatting with friends, and you say something and you just see it, that quick flash of confusion on their face.
Where they ask you to repeat yourself.
Yes, exactly. And being asked to repeat yourself just one too many times, it can make you feel small, like your English just isn't, I don't know, good enough.
It's a huge emotional weight.
Yeah.
And that feeling, that need to almost apologize for how you sound,
Yeah.
it's often a much bigger barrier to communication than any actual mistake you might be making.
That is our entire mission for this deep dive. We went through all the material, and the one core insight, the thing you have to internalize is this. Your accent is not the enemy.
Not at all.
It's your identity, it's your story, your culture. We're aiming for clarity here, for being understood, not for, like, erasing who you are.
Exactly. The goal is to be understood perfectly, but without chasing some kind of manufactured, idealized perfection that doesn't really exist.
So let's start with a really basic piece of encouragement, for when that self-doubt starts creeping in. Even if you say tink instead of think.
Right.
People get it. They understand what you mean. So why is it that so many really smart, proficient speakers internalize this idea that their accent is a mistake that they need to fix?
Well, the fascinating thing is that this shame is almost entirely cultural. It's not linguistic.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
An accent just tells a story. It's a geographical marker, basically. It shows where you learned the language. But in our world, we've kind of set up this artificial hierarchy.
Where, like, Hollywood English is at the top.
Hollywood, Wall Street, the
Yeah.
BBC, that gets positioned as the gold standard. And it kind of implies that any other way of speaking English learned in Paris or Mumbai or Addis Ababa is a deviation.
So it's a kind of gatekeeping.
It is. And that system encourages shame. We completely forget that every single native speaker has an accent. I mean, the difference between a Texas accent and a London accent is huge.
And neither one is wrong.
Exactly. They're both just correct. Your accent isn't an error. It's just flavor. It's history.
That's such a crucial distinction. When you hear a French person speaking English or a Japanese person, you're not hearing mistakes. You're hearing their culture. You're hearing the incredible achievement of learning a whole other language.
It reframes the whole conversation, doesn't it? It shifts the focus from, I need to hide where I'm from, to look at the incredible journey I took to learn this.
Right. And that mental shift is what leads to the real actionable strategy. You don't need to mimic a specific native accent.
Not at all.
So if the goal isn't to sound American or British, what should we be obsessing over instead? The sources were super clear on this. The one word is clarity.
Clarity. That is
Uh-huh.
the single most important thing. It just means pronouncing words in a way that people can understand you without, a ton of effort.
And that's not just about getting every single vowel sound perfect.
No, in fact, it's often more about the bigger picture. Things like stress and rhythm and intonation.
Now that's a real deep dive insight because most learners, they focus so hard on the individual sounds, the T or the R, but you're saying where you put the emphasis in a word can be even more important.
Absolutely. Think about it from the listener's perspective. If they expect the stress on the second syllable, like in project, but you say proroject, their brain stumbles for a second.
Ah, I see.
And that little stumble can break comprehension, even if all your sounds were perfect. So focusing on something like intonation, like really emphasizing the key word, can you help me, that boosts understanding way more.
That just takes so much pressure off.
It does.
It's not about performance anxiety. It's just about, getting your message across confidently.
So let's get into the toolkit, the 5-step guide to breaking accent shame. And step 1 is where the real battle is won. It's all internal.
The sources call it accept your accent, the mental shift.
That's it. You have to truly internalize that your accent is part of your story. The sources suggest a daily affirmation, and I think it's so powerful. My accent shows where I come from, and that is not a mistake.
That's great to say in the mirror. But, let's be real. It's harder when you're in a job interview or giving a presentation and you hear yourself slip up on a word.
It is. So there's a specific exercise for that moment. When you catch yourself, you say taught instead of thought. You do 2 things.
Okay.
First, you just silently acknowledge, hey, I still communicated the idea. And second, you forgive yourself for the imperfection. You don't let it derail you. The goal was completion, not perfection.
Completion, not perfection. I love that. Which brings us to steps 2 and 3. The sources say trying to fix your entire accent is, well, It's pointless and paralyzing.
It's just cognitive overload.
Yeah.
You can't fix every single sound at once. You'll just get overwhelmed and quit.
Yeah.
So the approach has to be surgical.
Surgical.
Yeah. You focus only on the very few specific sounds that actually genuinely cause confusion for listeners.
Okay, so maximum impact for minimum effort. What are those big ones? The common culprits.
The sources really hone in on 3 high-impact areas. First is the difference between R and L.
The classic one.
Yeah. Second is clarifying V versus W, think, vary, and worry. And the third, the big one, is the to sound.
As in think or they.
Exactly. That sound is pretty rare in other languages, so it often gets swapped for a T or a do sound.
We can even do a quick drill right now for anyone listening. Just try repeating these and feel where your tongue is. Ready?
Let's do it.
Vary, worry, think, this, that. Just doing that a few times a day makes a huge difference.
It really, really does. Which brings us to step 4, which tackles the biggest fear of all.
Being asked to repeat yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like a judgment, doesn't it? Like someone is grading your English and saying, you failed.
That's the emotional frame we have to break. Being asked to repeat something isn't a failure, it's collaboration. The listener just wants to make sure they understand you. It happens between native speakers all the time.
So how do you respond in that moment without feeling ashamed?
The key is what the sources call a zero apology response.
Zero apology. I like that. So instead of, oh, sorry, my English is bad.
You just detach from the shame. You state the action. Sure, I can repeat that. Or let's say it again. You treat it like a technical glitch, not a personal failing.
Wow. That simple shift in how you reply it changes everything. It puts you back in control.
It does. And that confidence leads us to the last and maybe the most powerful idea, which is turning your accent into a source of power.
Okay, so how do we flip that narrative?
Your accent is not a deficit. It's direct evidence that you have a massive cognitive advantage.
What's the advantage?
Your accent immediately tells people that you're multilingual. You've mastered at least 2 complex linguistic systems. I mean, think about it. Most native English speakers only speak 1 language.
Right.
A person with an accent is operating with 2, or 3, or 4. That's proof of incredible mental flexibility.
That's something to be incredibly proud of.
Exactly. The sources had this great line. When people hear my accent, they know I speak my native language. And D-English, that's 2 languages, not 1. It's a differentiator.
And we see this everywhere, right? Successful Indian professors, African entrepreneurs, Asian tech leaders, they don't succeed by hiding their accent.
No, they succeed because they communicate with absolute clarity and total confidence. Their accent just becomes part of their respected global identity. Confidence is what convinces people, not your vocal rhythm.
So let's make this really practical. For the listener who wants to start today, what's a simple daily routine they can do?
The sources lay out a beautiful, simple little routine. It's designed to build clarity without triggering that perfectionist trap.
Okay, break it down for us.
Step 1, just speak for 30 seconds in English about anything, your morning, a movie, whatever. Step 2, record it on your phone.
Why record it?
Because we often can't hear our own mistakes clearly. The recording gives you objective feedback. Step 3, and this is the most important part, listen back and fix only 1 word.
Just 1. Why only 1?
Because if you try to fix everything, you'll get paralyzed. Fixing 1 thing is achievable. It guarantees a small win.
I see. So it builds momentum.
Exactly. Then, step 4, say the 30 seconds again, but correcting just that 1 word. And step 5, move on. You're done for the day.
That's brilliant. It's manageable. You could even use those affirmations as your practice material, right? Record yourself saying, I speak English with my own accent.
My accent is part of who I am.
People understand me, and that's enough.
That's the whole takeaway. Confidence and clarity are what matter. Your accent is a badge of honor. It's a sign of your multilingual strength. You earned that voice.
So we'll leave you with one final thought to think about. Your accent isn't the problem. Silence is. The real problem is when shame stops you from speaking at all. So go out there, be brave, and let your voice be heard.